And without further ado, and without further ado, let's get started. So, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing it on every single platform. And it's time for me to share it with you here. I'm working out between my channels how I want to do this. I think this is my long form channel. I think my short form channel. There we go. Little mama. Think I know so. Okay, so fascia. Fascia, what is fascia? Fascia is everything in your body. So, if you're under the impression that medical science and all of reality is perfect, then you are a fool, my friend. Fascia. It's the connective tissue of all connective tissues in the body. It holds individual muscle fibers together as well as the big muscles together. If you've ever seen muscle or meat in a grocery store, you will have seen that white marbling, those apparent fatty places. All of them are wrapped in, and that's all the thin white, it's all fascia. The things that hold all the organs together and in place. That is fascia. What is helping you blink right now is fascia. What is helping your heart pump blood through your whole body? Fascia. So when I took physiology and anatomy in high school and college, was in biology and learned about dissection, they actually had us ignore fascia. They say, not ignore it per se, but enough to acknowledge it and say, put it aside. Don't pay attention to that part. It's early yet. And it's a little sad because they recently started looking into fascia and the studies recently. It started in like late 1800s, but they ignored it. Similar to, did you know that about hand washing? They ignored hand washing, right? They ignored it so much that women were dying after childbirth because the doctors weren't washing their hands after working with cadavers. And then they would go and birth babies, and these women would start bleeding uncontrollably. And that's one of those issues that could have been solved by midwives, but we're not going to talk about that right now. They vilified them, made it witches. I think I'm getting off on political tangents. The point I'm making is just because you haven't heard it from your doctor's mouth does not mean that it is not the cutting edge of science. In fact, when I was in school getting my degrees, and degrees is correct, you basically study what other people have done. There's very few innovative sciences. It's all built upon the structure of a pyramid of this science paper was done here, so let's try to prove it here, and let's try to nuance it here, and then da-da-da-da-da, as opposed to, you know what, let's actually study this, see what's working, what's not working. Oh, and guess what? In 2015, they finally had a conference about the role of fascia in cancer. And stuck fascia, crystallized fascia, is where cancer grows. So, if you don't want cancer, you better move that. Same thing with stress, anxiety, stuck in the body. If you don't want things stuck in the body, like pain and inflammation, you have all this lymphatic massage and drainage. That's basically what the Fascianator does. So let me introduce you to my friend. Da-da-da-da, the Fascianator. Now, this may look like a traditional foam roller, but it's not. It's firm, it's hard, it breaks things up. And the fascia itself, under under most, it doesn't show up under CT scans, it doesn't show up under X-ray, um, and when it does show up, it looks like a body. It looks like light. It looks like a body of light. So even if you're working in the spiritual community, and you really want to get things flowing and going, roll out, roll out, hard roll up. So this is an example of a neurovascular bundle. It has veins and lymphatic vessels and arteries. I should be able to pull that. I thought I glued it in there. Anyway, and nerves, electrical wiring. And it looks similar to this natural sponge. And what's the property of a natural sponge? When it's dry, it's hard and it's fixed. So guess what that means? Blood can't transfer away from an organ or to an organ with fresh oxygen. In fact, cellular waste, which causes, when it's buildup, cell mutations and DNA mutations causing um, unmitigated cellular growth, aka cancer and tumors, right? It can also pinch a nerve, so if you get numbness or tingling, um, if it can also um, cause all kinds of fluid buildup, right? Like Baker's cyst behind the knee. Some of us have that. Some of us have stiff inflammation. So this is what a fascia. This is what the fascia does in this instance. So what happens with the natural sponge when you hydrate it and you squeeze it? It softens. It allows things to move through it like cellular waste and debris. It allows fresh oxygenated blood, right? Because your body is an enclosed system that heals itself. So for this practice, I got to put a link down there. Ooh. For the Fascinator. I did not create this, but I do use it as a tool. How I was introduced to it, I'll talk about it throughout the process. But you need your water. I got some lime in mind to keep it interesting. Mm. 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 Oh, yeah, that's some good stuff right there. I have modifications because when I was born, I was pulled out with forceps. It pinched a nerve. So I don't have full range of motion with this arm. So I do some slight modifications. So this is actually one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of things in some poses. But let's go ahead and do the full body. The full Fascianator method. And before I do all this, and I should have checked it right at the beginning, I have checked my audio. So let me just check my audio. We're going to start on the inner portion of the foot. Let's roll the arch. So for people with issues because of flat foot, you're going to, let me see, rolling. Okay, perfect. And roll the outer arch. I'm going to put some music on first, people. Put some music on the outer arch. Oh, yeah. Crackling. All those little crunchy pieces and that kind of popping you feel, and maybe it feels like a cellophane bag. That's all stuck and crystallized fascia. This is a very simple process. It's a very passive. My arches have actually gotten higher since I've been doing this. I wonder if I could see those videos. Man, my feet look great. Self-love is a wonderful thing. Yeah. Okay. On here. And let's roll the arch of the other foot. Oh, that feels so good. Crackling and popping. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it is. Oh, yes. And rolling that outer arch. Putting that weight in the foot. And right to the center. Oh, yes. Oh, fantastic. And now we're gonna, oh my goodness, right there under the heel, like that ankle is where it's tender on me today. You know, you want to notice how your body feels from day to day. Give yourself the grace to know that you're gonna change, know that life is changing, and you know, give yourself space. So, picking up some lo-fi. Oh, let me fix this because I think I watch things double time, you know. I don't know if this can record everything, but okay. So you're gonna put your leg down, cross your opposite, put your left leg down, and for those of and put your other leg on top for weight, right? For those of you who are here in this position, this is the modified position. You're going to be moving slowly down and seesawing across. For those of you who can, and so I do a slight modification of this, you're going to hold yourself up and roll back and forth through the center through the full length of the calf to just under the knee, all the way to the ankle. Whew. Do your best to relax your toes. I wiggle them. Turn out, so you're getting that outer calf. Roll the outer calf. And roll the inner calf. You know what? It's not always about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and working on that form. Switch legs. Roll right through the center. Crossing that leg on top. Whew. Rolling the outer portion of the leg. Yay. That outer calf. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, yes, baby. Okay. Oh. Mm. And rolling the inner calf. Seeing what's tender is one side more tender than the. Now rolling the inner calf. Did I already say that? Oh my goodness. This is no joke, people. This is serious business. Let's go ahead and go to our side. We're stacking our feet. Actually, take a minute and trace a circle with your toes. Rolling your ankles in a circle. How's that feel? Oh, yeah. Just remember how it feels, okay? This is like an equivalent of a deep tissue massage that you're giving yourself. Stack your legs. I get massaged every day. You. People are always like, it's expensive, this device. I'm like, yeah, I'm giving you classes for free, right now? And is it more expensive than the surgery? Which you could have avoided if you just broke up your fascia. And once you break that open, once things go inside of you or things come out, you're never the same. Yeah? So then turn 10 degrees forward. Rolling next to the tibia is going to help with shin splints. So people who have like who are constantly rolling their ankles. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. Stacking our legs, elbow on the ground, tightening your abs to help you with stability. Using that front hand to help guide and balance you. You're gonna roll far down, as far close to the under the knee as just below the knee area, as much as you can. Let's roll forward or turn about 10 degrees forward towards the shin bone. So this will help with shin splints. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's do that. Rolling. Wow, getting longer. Look at that. Look at that point. Look at that point, people. Through it. An ankle. And circle again. So good. Wow, it's so free. I'm getting better. The creator, Anthony, his whole knee like moves around. So it's actually a floating bone, right? He's the first person I've seen it float. He's 15. You'd be like, yeah. But anyway, is he 50? Him and his wife are the most beautiful, fit people you'll ever see. This is my self-care routine. It's one of my self-care routines, along with yoni steaming and all this other stuff that I teach. But this is the one, people, game changer. Okay, so we've got the whole lower leg. We're now going to do the hamstring. Whoa. So the fascianator is under the hamstring. We're working on the right hamstring right now. We're lifting ourselves up and our foot is flat on the ground. We're going to roll forward. Let me come up forward. I don't want to be on camera for y'all. Forward and back. Just right through the middle. Remember, this is a modification. You're going to have both hands on the ground, supporting you. Turn your toes outward. Oh, get that outer hamstring. This is always shortened from sitting and driving and oh, it feels so good. Turn your toes inward. Making sure to get that little pocket just behind the knee. That's where Baker cysts, or fluid deposits, can go. And for those of you with sciatica, this is going to roll the lower part. We'll get into the upper part of the sciatica. Just a moment. Let's switch sides. So we put fascianator under the hamstring, foot on the ground, supporting, rolling straight through the middle. I have long quads, so I got long legs, long feet. Going straight through the middle. If you feel yourself tightening up, wiggle your toes, relax your foot, surrender to your own body. Turn the toes outward, getting that outer quad or hamstring. Is one side more sensitive than the other? Really picture in and clue into your own body. Turn those toes inward. Rolling that inner Ooh. Ah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I did do a lot of driving yesterday. Oh yeah. Oh my inner quad. Whew. I mean hamstring. Boy, you need to be doing this because I'm still doing it, you know. It's never a surprise. It's never I'm complacent with this exercise. That feels so good. All right, let's move on to our inner thighs. There's a huge blood entry way here on the side of our inner thigh. As you left for the goat here to the center and out our arms. So we're gonna roll our inner thigh. I'm gonna start with thigh out, elbow around, and go ahead and straighten that leg. And then lift yourself up on that toe. Putting the weight on the fascianator contact. Rolling into the hip. This is a major blood vessel that they use if you need a bypass surgery. I myself had some uncontrollable bleeding. Sorry for another time. And they wanted to stop it through cauterizing the piece of my intestine after they moved the lump. So they had to they put in a huge thing through this blood vessel. And thankfully, I've been dancing most of my life. Turn a little bit away from the fascianator, get deep into the hip. And because I've been dancing most of my life, I have nice open veins there. Getting deep into that little pocket. Anywhere you feel it's very tender or crunchy, you want to give yourself a pause. Let yourself get nice and deep in that spot. Let's switch sides. Leg up to at least a 90 if you can. Up on your elbows, on those toes. Rolling that thigh out. Sometimes emotions can come out for you. Just release those. Because we store tension and trauma in our body. Turn away from the fascianator and get nice and deep into that hip pocket. Wowza. Okay. Let's have some more water. A lot of you might be feeling sweaty, but you're not actually doing anything. So it's not from working. It's actually from releasing cellular debris. So we're going to move on to the front, the calf. You're going to lay on the fascianator and use your knee for support. Roll and crawl forward to just above the knee. And crawl back until you get nice into that hip, the full length of the muscle. Crawling forward. I'm going to move myself a little bit forward here. Just because it's a limited space. All right. Oh, yeah. Go to the outside. Oh. forward. Oh, look to the outside. Rolling. And turn your body about 10 degrees outward and get that outer quad. Ooh, this can be real sensitive for some folk. The key is to just allow your body to tell you what it wants to tell you, what's it communicating. Beautiful. And let's do the inner portion of the quad now. There's a nice, the MCL. Oh man. For me, this one has been really. Yeah. All right. I want you to take a small break. I want you to test something out. All right, because this is how we remember. This is how we understand the value is immediate. So when you take that leg, the quad that you just rolled, and lift it up. It should feel easy. Now lift the one you haven't rolled. Feel a little tighter, a little achier perhaps. Maybe. Wait, let me just gulp some more water because my body is. Purging out all the holiday stuff I had. That Zippies we went to last night. Which my son loved. Let's roll back and forth. Rolling. Or crawling forward. Oh my goodness. We're going right through the center. Oh. Deep breaths into the nose. Just exploring our body. Exploring the muscle. Exploring that space. Oh, yes. And making sure to move your elbows. You want to roll the whole muscle. Woo, girl. Let's move up to the outer quad. Two. Oh, sweet. Ho. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's time for that inner quad area. Yeah. And exhale. So when you roll the whole body's fascia, the roll fascia allows the fascia to kind of restructure and reform to what's best for the body. Whew. Can you see my glisten? My glistening? Am I showing up right in this light? There are 5 angles. Let's have. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, this is legit. Okay. So next we're going to get into the gluteus maximus minimus. These 9 muscles. You're going to lean on your elbow. You can have your knees here. You can stay here. And you always want to be challenging yourself. So majority of people, we'll go to the next part. On the side of your elbow is bent. You're gonna lift that ankle up and put it on the knee, and then you're gonna grab your ankle for stability, and just roll. So imagine you're in an ancient temple, and that temple is your muscle, and you're you looking around, studying, seeing the beauty of the architecture. It's like, whoa, what's that? Oh, I feel that. I see that. In the mind's eye, exploring and being in the present moment with the tenderness. Turn about 10 degrees out and get higher into that gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. Yes. Just surrendering. If you notice your hands tightening, you want to relax them. It's like you fighting your body, right? And putting that stress into your endpoints. Your feet are your hands. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh. And if there's any tender, like do some micro movements, explore, discover your body. Let's switch sides. Elbow on the ground. And for those of you who need to stay here with just the knees bent a little bit to the side, your hand on your knee, that's fine. For those of you who are ready for that deep goodness, sure. The side that your elbow is bent, bend the knee. So this is going to be really good. I got for sciatica. This is going to break up all of the fascia around that nerve. This will open up if there's cysts and stuff that you're carrying. This will break them apart. And I'm talking any cyst in the body, PCOS cysts even. So we haven't gotten there yet. It's one of our next moves, but stay here with me. Explore that hip. Explore the 9 muscles on the side that make it easier to function in your human life. Hold on to your ankle there for stability. I'm doing a slight modification because I cannot balance yet with my elbow, but I'm working on it. All right. Every day getting better. Oh, yes. So you want to turn your knee a little bit more towards the ground and get deeper into the gluteus minimus and gluteus medius. Yes. This is nice. You are in the temple. You are watching yourself. You see yourself. Oh, yes. What are your muscles? Oh, that feels so good, guys. Surrendering. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, for those of you who are ready to move on, which I'm not. I love that spot. I love that. We don't want to do more than 3 minutes per area. It can destabilize the body and trigger your nervous system to say, hey, that part's not stable. We better send some more inflammatory stuff to it to stiffen it up. Right? That's why we do not roll the lower back. So good. Let's drink some water. Ooh, this side's getting easier. I check my hip mobility because that's my goal. That's one of my goals. Hip mobility. But you see me like leaning. So the fascia can store up to an average human 4 gallons of water. So drinking a 32 ounce while you're doing this, and a lot of people won't even use the restroom after. Because it's going exactly where it needs to go in the body. So if you can store 4 gallons, this 32 is just a drop in the bucket. Well, now we're going to move on to the diaphragm. So take a deep breath in. How high does your breath go? I know in a lot of like yoga classes and stuff like that, they'll say belly breathing. All that's well and good. But right now, we want to see how much you can fill your lungs to the top. All right. We're going to take the edge of our fascianator, finding our rib cage, which is right here, right? You're going to place it on your right knee, and it's going to go across to under the left ribs. It helps to put your foot out, have a place for it to roll. Fine. You're going to roll under the rib cage, taking a breath out, letting the fascianator sink into you, and roll. Breaking up the fascia that's stuck here, massaging not only the diaphragm, but some of the organs underneath. Find out whether there's any issues and symptoms breathing. For those of you who have asthma or maybe fluid in the lungs, this could help support that for having a higher quality of life. Breathing issues. This is going to be the one. Switch to the other side. Finding the under part of the ribcage, just where your liver and gallbladder are. We have people that have been able to get rid of cysts on their liver, been able to help with their gallbladder and pancreas function, aka diabetes, helping with those issues. Hang out. It's going to also help release different pent-up emotions and anger and sorrow and all that wonderful stuff. But that's getting more into the esoteric side. Yeah, I'll move some gas. I'm going to be gassy on this next move solidly. Okay. So for this next move, wow, my knees are just sitting. I was having issues with my knees yesterday, but not right now. Not even this morning. Okay, so the edge of the fascianator is going to go under the belly button. You're going to just lay directly onto it. It's sticking out of the left side. We're going to raise that side of the knee, putting our toes into the ground, lifting ourselves up, and surrendering on top of the fascianator. It's going to massage the bladder, uterus, ovaries, scar tissue if you've had those removed. It's going to massage your large and small intestines. We've had people who've been able to get pregnant, reduce PCOS symptoms, help correct endometriosis, and pass fibroids naturally. This is the one. I'm telling you, the gas is coming out today. Oh. And if you find yourself tightening up, you want to slow down, take a breath out, surrendering to your own body weight onto the fasciator. And if you're rolling up a little bit, don't want to roll into your rib cage. You want to avoid your ribs, but you share all those organs in there. Get a nice massage. There's also some deep lymph nodes and stuff. So if you have inflammation, stuff like that, it's going to help stimulate your health. Okay, let's go on the other side. Pushing the knee up under the fasciator. The edge of the fasciator is right under the belly button. Lift your toes up. Slide yourself forward and back. On this side is where the ileocecal valve is. So where your large intestine and small intestine come together. It's going to help you have good bowel movements in case you've been constipated. Taking a breath to surrender. Oh, yes. Oh, feels so good. All right. Let's have a seat and take that breath again. Oh, it should go all the way up here. Your breath should have, if we move from here, good feeling here. Because you've opened up your lungs. You've opened up your capacity for breathing. All right. Now, let's go ahead and roll our... Actually, before we roll, let's do another body check-in. Roll your hands or your arms in a circle, forward and backwards. Just making a mental note of how that feels. Whew. So we're going to roll the chest. Find your clavicle. So here you have this is called a sternocleidomastoid. It goes from the sternum, the cleido, the clavicle, and the mastoid, the jaw. And so these help turn your head left and right. They also are one of the major inlets and outputs of blood on cellular waste from the brain and the face to the organs that actually filter. Okay, so I'd like you to take the edge of the fasciator, place it under the clavicle, resting it so that if you're rolling your right, you want to put it, this is going to do the pectoralis major, you're going to put it right under the clavicle, resting it in the right hand. Right clavicle, right hand. And you're pushing with the left hand, and you're getting leverage by lifting your elbow. And do some micro movements. See what that feels like to move it around a little. Not on the bone. We don't want all the bones. That's great. Let's do the other side. So I do a modification where I'm pushing in on the ground. I don't have the same amount of pressure. So you're going to hold it on the left side, pushing with your right. So under the left clavicle, holding on the left, pushing the right, and raising your elbows for those of you who can. I'm not there yet, but I will be. I'm pushing in to that space in between under the clavicle. Doing any micro movements that are necessary to help you open up in that area. Now we're going to do our pectoralis minor. You grab the fasciator, hold it towards the body, and pull in and and swipe down. Pull in and swipe down. Pull in and swipe down. So I feel like a nice tender spot up at the top. Slow breaths in. Let's do the other side. Grabbing the fascianator, holding it with the elbow towards the body, and pulling down. Let's go ahead and take the fascianator, wiping the front and back of the mammary glands here. Breaking apart any stuck tissues, noticing if there's anything sensitive here. One woman who worked specifically with Anthony, because I only have one level of anecdotal evidence until I have more of my own clients telling me their feedback, but she had positive mammograms for 9 years in a row. And after a year working with Anthony, she went in for her annual, finally a negative mammogram. And positive mammogram means there's abnormal tissues, right? There's cellular growth. There's cause for question. Now it's got a tender on the side. I wonder what it's telling me. Just listening. Just hearing and seeing and feeling in my own body. Right? Imagine if you could take your health autonomy back by hearing what your body's saying. Okay. So this is the spine. Imagine this is the spine, and these are your shoulder blades. Can you see this properly? No, this way. Okay. This is the spine, and here's your shoulder blades. In between the shoulder blade and the spine is a muscle called the trapezius. We're going to roll a trap. Yeah. So we're not rolling the spine, the shoulder blade. So you're going to put this at the nipple line or bra line. Lay back. We don't roll the lower back. There's a huge band of fascia back there that goes in every direction. That if you over relax it, it actually makes your body feel destabilized and it sort of starts to seize up, right? And we don't want that. And I'm sure you've had that where you have that stiff back. Okay, turning your hands behind your head, turn your head to the side. This is when you want to get rid of loose fabric, so I'm hoping the shirt doesn't get caught. Push your heels into the ground, lifting your butt up, and rolling. Turn about 30 degrees to the right, rolling to the midline. Oh, she's caught. If your shirt isn't getting caught, see how deep you can roll into that upper trap. Remembering to breathe in through the nose, going to help you have more oxygen. Let me check it in real quick. That's ridiculous. I almost choked myself. I'm just trying to help you. Why are you sending me these vibes? Just kidding. Okay, hands behind your head. Turn 30 degrees in the other direction. Pushing your heels on the ground. Oh, rolling into that left trap. Whoo! There we go. Do some micro movements and find out where your tender run, baby. Oh, I can actually feel my lower back stretching. See, the fascia lines are all interconnected, right? And they can run zigzag up the body. They don't just run straight down. There's one line that goes all the way from the heels to the back of the skull. And because everything is related and connected together, the higher you lift, the deeper you can go to your shoulder. You could actually relieve your migraines by rolling your calves. Who would have thought? Well, now it's time to move on to our side body or the lats. So we're going to lay on our side, putting the fascianator under the armpit, arm out straight, have your palm up. And you're just going to windshield wiper back and forward to make sure we get all those lymph nodes massaged and active. And when that's stuck, that's where our body cleanses itself and helps itself heal. And forward and back, feeling if there's any sensitive spots. And for those of you who are up for it, you put your foot into the ground, upper foot into the ground, and lift your weight into your lat. I ain't even there. See my face right now? But if you can't, go for it. Oh. Mm. Oh. Mm. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Mm. All right, let's do the other side. Sweet. Sweet self-loving me. Now, this has a slight modification, so I'm going to put my weight on here. You got the weight for hand. Let's see how this helps. Holding the arm down because I'm still strengthening certain muscles and releasing other muscles. Okay. You're going to have your arm straight. My arm's not straight right now because I can't do that right now. That's okay. And back and forth. Back. And alrighty. Making sure to get those lymph nodes in the front. And if those of you who can, go ahead and put your upper foot in the ground, back and forth. Oh. Ooh, that's so fun. That feels so good. Whew. Okay. Let's have some water before we get into our trapezius. All right. So this is how the trap goes. You have your arm straight, your forward hand, or your opposite hand is helping you lean forward, and your legs at a 90-degree angle, and you're pulling. So you're going to put your thumb back to start. To get, let me touch this again. To get your, so the thumb is facing the ground, backwards, and then it faces 45 degrees to get the other one, and then it faces straight up to get the third. You're going to explore these micro movements, explore the tenderness of the muscle. Releasing and surrendering. Ooh. Yes, opening and relaxing that hand. Let's switch to the other side. All right. So when you buy the Fascianator, you get a copy of the booklet about how to do the Fascianator Method. Often people want to do spot treatments. So my thumb's facing the back. All right. Oh. Then its face is about 45 degrees for the middle and up for the lower parts. So face it back. Oh. Exploring where it's really tender. Oh. Let's do the bicep. So you're going to lay with the arm out just from the body, from this bed, and push in to that bicep. Lifting the elbow to help you with pushing down. And then moving that thumb up to get the long head. So the short head, your thumb back, and the long head of the bicep, those two muscles, by meaning two, and put your thumb up. Oh, let's switch to the other side. So often when you feel that pinch in the shoulder, people think, oh, I should stretch that shoulder out. And I want to. You know what they do when you have like golfer's elbow or tennis elbow? They will cut the tendon, and apparently they screw it into your body, or they give you a shot of cortisone so you can't feel it. But will they break up the fascia? No, that's not part of the system just yet. Maybe you feel better after massage, right? Because people have broken up some of that fascia, hopefully. All right. And this will, so that pinch can often feel like it's gotta be the shoulder, but it's actually tight bicep. So we're gonna do our deltoid. That's the side. We're gonna lay directly on the fascia here, putting it on the meaty part of that portion of the leg, or arm, the portion of the leg. Holding it close to the body so the elbow is not stopping this movement. So you're gonna roll back and all the way forward, facing the ground, making sure you get that full muscle. And go ahead and do a micro roll up, just a tiny bit, see if that helps, or down. Often through aging and impact, this ball socket from the shoulder blade can start decreasing in size, and that's where you can have these rotator cuff injuries. If you want to get that space back, this simple move really will put it back to that 10 millimeter space. So you can lose 2 millimeters of space and it can cause all kinds of shoulder pain. The more often you roll, the better you get to actually. Doing those micro movements up and down just to see where you're at, what it feels like to be you in this time, in this body. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice. All right, let's do the roll. Oh, it was a lot freer, a lot more open. Yeah, boy. I'm feeling good. How about you? Okay. That was beautiful. Okay, I'm feeling fantastic. How about you? I feel dreamy actually. It's like, didn't I just wake up? But maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm waking up right now. All right. So, let's drink some water. I'm gonna put some more lime in my water. See if I got any juice in this here lime. Next, we're gonna move on to our forearms, our traps. Our traps were done. Our forearms. So before we do our forearms, we're gonna check in. Let's squeeze our hands. So with the studies, the caliper studies, they're finding that using this method and rolling the forearms can increase your grip strength 25 to 45%. Okay, so remember what this feels like. Make a mental note. Let's do this. So we're constantly grabbing and gripping and all of these things. Maybe you're driving for hours. Maybe you're, um, you know, holding onto your cell phone, typing on your computers. We're gonna bend with the shoulder, and we're gonna putting our thumb all the way down. We're gonna push our arm into the fascianator, form of the fascianator. This should feel really tender. Relaxing the hand. This is actually causing me to curl. You want some more stability, like widen your knees. That will help. Relax. Oh, yes. Let's switch sides. Twisting the neck and the spine and head in the same direction. Making sure that sometimes your fingers might twitch. Okay there, V8. Now we're gonna do the inside. So a lot of people have carpal tunnel issues or arthritis. We're gonna roll the inside, starting with the pinky side, going towards the middle, and the thumb side. We're using the edge of the fasciator to get deep into that. So my knees are wide for stability for myself. Just rolling that full hole. See my hand close up like that? Crazy. But not crazy. Totally on point. Let's move to the inner portion. Make sure that you're rainbowing through the muscles and tendons that work your fingers and hands. Noting the crystals, the pops, any relief, any tender spots. What do you feel going on inside your body? What do you see in that temple that you're walking around in? What is it teaching you or telling you right now? Rolling that inner. Oh. So for people who have arthritis or carpal tunnel, air quotes on syndrome, it's not so much a syndrome as a condition, a fascial condition managed. And we're constantly gripping, constantly taking. We need to be able to relieve that. And rolling on the thumb side. Oh man, feel a lot more blood going to the hands. And it feels like there's a little air bubble right there. There we go. Sometimes the fascia will break apart immediately. Sometimes it can take 3 months, year and a half, 2 years before the stuff releases. Let's go ahead and just do the hands. We're going to do there's 6 major muscles in the hands. Rolling between the pinky and the ring and the index, using the edge of the fascianator. Making sure to put that weight forward between the middle and the index and right into that meaty part next to the thumb. I'm just going to go back and forth between these areas, feeling out the crunchy parts, noticing anything tender. So for a lot of older people, they don't bring that out. They end up with something called dependence. Deputrance, that's right, deputrance. And so their hands are curled like this. So you see people whose hands are stuck. What you gotta do is go in with the gua sha, which is a slightly better method, or with the fascianator, open that up. Yeah, I see people walking around stooping, limping because they're all stiff. Now go ahead and grip. It should be easier. It should be a lot stronger, a lot tighter. And as you know, when you get older, you start to lose that fine motor skill, so you can't feed yourself. You can't keep yourself clean like you used to. This will help you get that back. So now we're almost done. We're going to roll the top of the hand, letting all the stuff come out of the fingers, getting out anything on the top of it. If you've got the gua sha program, which I show more on my school, definitely join us there. Oh, for gua sha. And we're going to do the top of the foot. So just like there's a carpal tunnel, there's a tarsal tunnel. It goes right here. So if you're having numbness or tingling, maybe your nail beds are dying, all kinds of stuff. Start opening these channels back up. These blood vessels are so many. It's a major conjunction, letting in a lot of blood vessels to the foot. We're going to top the other foot. Inner arch there. All right. Okay, so for our last few moves, we're going to get into the sternocleidomastoid. We talked about that little piece. So if you're having issues turning your head, or maybe you got stiff neck in the car, I'm just going to lay your head down. Fascianator on the ground. There's no space between the fascianator and this little pocket right here between the shoulder and the head. You're going to look down, scraping under the chin, and then looking up, back of the neck. Getting down, pressing your head down into the fascianator, getting as deep into the sternocleidomastoid as possible. Resting here. There's a lot of lymph behind the back of the ear, right below the ear, and the chin there. Just massaging it around, feeling into that muscle. Is there any tender spots? So the other side. Same thing. No space between the fascianator and your neck and chin. Pushing to the ground, looking forward. Back, down, and up. And up. Up. Mm, mm, mm. So much, yes. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to. Ooh, that felt so good. Place the fascianator under the lip of the skull ridge. So there's a little puffy part there. You're gonna pull and push your head in to the fasciinator, to the left and right, relaxing those 8 cranial muscles, 2 of which are on the inside of the skull. This will help the brain release all that cellular waste, can help prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. Roll in. And the thing is, this feels so good. But you don't just focus on one part, you roll the whole body so the whole body can restructure. If your leg is still tight and it's connected to the fascia that goes up the lower back to the upper back to the back of the head and the skull, you're just rolling the skull, that lower leg can be getting you. You're just rolling your leg, but just the tension in your crane can get you. Tension in your crane. Awesome. So this one requires pressure. Now we're going to relax our head. We're going to move it to our cervical spine because you weren't on the lower neck. You're on the neck now. I'm going to cross your hands, across your chest, turn to the right, about 30 degrees, and find that muscle there. Just relax onto it, just massaging with a slight back and forth movement. No, I won't let my fascia crystallize anymore. Yes, yes, yes. I do want more pleasure and enjoyment in my life. And I'm taking it back. There's no reason for us to suffer through our lives in these bodies. Let's turn to the other side, 30 degrees, finding that stiff muscle there. Little micro movements to help it relax and loosen in fascia. Closing the eyes, just exploring that muscle, feeling into itself. Okay, now let's just relax straight back. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Ooh, I'm so thankful for this body. I'm so thankful that I did it. I'm taking care of myself every day because I deserve to have the best life. Well, we did it. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching the replay. Thanks for taking back your life. Now, if you look at the beginning and the end of this video, I'm like a new person. Squeaky clean, inside and out, baby. Until we meet again.